What's up, Aggies? And anybody else watching, this is your boy A&T-roy with another installation of the unofficial-ish A&T Athletics Report. If you would, please comment, share, and subscribe. I think those are things that apply to YouTube. I don't think they have a like function, but if they do, you can like it too. All right. So the research department has told me that trying to give you all of our schedule for all of the games or the contests that we have during a certain week is just too much to be listening to. Matter of fact, you have to take notes and all those kinds of things. So what I'm going to do going forward, for the most part, is I'm going to put the schedule for the week in the comments for the video or for the report. So you'll be able to go to the YouTube report for that week and see all the contests or events that we have going on athletically, the times, the locations, how you might be able to see them or hear them. So look for it that way. It's just a lot, especially I had a lot to tell you just with two sports going on, and that's men's and women's basketball. So when we get into hopefully 10, 15 sports, it's going to be a lot. All right, so we're going to be putting those things in the comments. Let's talk a little bit about what happened this past weekend. Matter of fact, we'll talk about all of it. The men's basketball team traveled down to South Carolina State, and they didn't have a video stream, or we couldn't watch the games. So all we could do was listen. As I understand it, this is one of the issues that we've had, and maybe several other schools have had with the MEAC, where just not a very good platform for being able to watch our kids wherever they are and whenever they're competing. On the other hand, and I'll just give this a little plug, as I understand it, the Big South, which we're going to next year, will be showing all of their basketball games either on one of the ESPN networks, ESPNU, ESPN3, or ESPN Plus. Matter of fact, today or yesterday and today, I went to ESPN Plus and there were 5 games on for the Big South. You could see all of their teams playing. How about this? Both the men and the women. So it won't be just the men that we'll be able to see once we go to the Big South. And much of this, as I understand it, applies to a whole bunch of our other sports. We're going to be able to see them primarily on ESPN Plus, where the Big South has a contract with. All right. So the men went to South Carolina State. I listened to both games. The first game, we won by 11 points. I think we ended up with 97. So I think it was 97 to 86. In that game, I think we still have some things we need to work on, and they are really more around rebounding and defending the three-point shot. Of course, free throws are still an issue. They probably shot 60%. So rebounding, defending the three-point shot, and free throws are big deals for what we need to work on. I did notice that Coach Jones still is running a long bench, meaning he played 12 players. One of our kids was out and he didn't play, but he ran 12. I think he also did the same thing on Saturday. He ran 11, 12, maybe even 13 players. We for the most part in the game on Sunday, he ran 12, 13 players. Most of the game we were down. I think we went down double digits in the first half. Ended up down 8 at halftime, and were able to get the lead 3-4 minutes into the game and ended up winning by 7. Primarily, the good thing about this is based on free throw shooting. Blake Harris has come through. I don't know if you all remember, but Blake transferred from NC State. He was a 4-star coming out of high school. So I think he scored 19 on Saturday and 17 on Sunday. And most of those 17, I think 7 or 8 of them were at the end of the game where he was fouled and he went to the free throw line and knocked down, I think 7 or 8 of them, 7 out of 8 of them. So we got 2 wins on the road this weekend with our men's basketball team, and that's a good thing. I will tell you, I think this format, I don't know how many of you all know this, but the format that they've set up to kind of hedge against, getting and spreading COVID and cutting down on travel and all those things is we're going to be playing back-to-backs. for the most part. So a Saturday game and a Sunday game. And that applies to both the men and the women. The issue there is it's going to be a mental game. Here's what I mean. If you play a team on Saturday and you beat them, especially if you beat them bad, well, you could have the big head and they're going to come back looking to get some get back. So it's going to be a mental grind for teams to be able to do this in terms of playing back to back one day after the other games. So we'll see how that all works out. We're off this coming week, and I said I'm going to put this in the comments, but I'm going to say this. The men don't play this weekend. We play next weekend or the weekend after this. Florida A&M will be coming to Club Corbett. So I'll put that information in the comments when I make the video for that upcoming week or next week. Sunday, the Lady Aggies actually were able to schedule D3 or Division III school called Averett. I think they're out of Danville, Virginia. And the Lady Aggies did what they should have and were supposed to do, and they beat Averett 102-36. So, just a kind of a little practice game. And the reason they did that was because South Carolina State's women's basketball team had to postpone. And so they weren't able to go down to Orangeburg to play last weekend. So those games were rescheduled to this coming weekend, which I'll put in the comments too. All right. Let's see. Let's go on to football. So of course I'm about to pass out, as are a whole lot of other folks around football season. As I've said on other reports, based on the transfers and some of the kids that we've got coming in as freshmen, maybe not playing in the spring, but coming in as freshmen, probably in the fall they'll play or be able to play. And some of the kids that we already had. Man, this team is loaded. I don't know how I can say, maybe let's do it like this. Loaded is in all caps, it's bold, it's italicized, and it's underlined. Everything you can do to it. Matter of fact, let's make it, we're going to highlight it in Aggie gold or whatever the color is or whatever you might call it. So we're going to highlight it in gold and we're going to put a background on it in blue. This team is loaded. I'm going to go out on a limb and say of course, at A&T, we've never had a team with this kind of pedigree. Let's say it that way. It's going to be hard for me to even say that there's ever been a HBCU football team as loaded as this one is, with the talent based on their pedigree and what we already know we have, at least since segregation went down. Now, maybe before segregation went down and kids couldn't go to these other schools, there might have been some talented teams that might be more talented than this one. But I don't see it. I don't see it. Matter of fact, a few years ago, as recent as 2017, we probably had 10 or less 2, 3, 4-star kids on our team. We got over 30 now. It's shocking to me. Football season is going to be interesting. We'll see if they get it in, because this COVID thing is not going too well. But I am going to say this here. Our first game is currently scheduled for Saturday, February 27th at the corner of Sullivan and Lindsay in our new stadium named Truist Stadium. I know some people don't like that. They still want to call it Aggie Stadium. Of course, we are just getting over BB&T Stadium, but the signage is up now. It's Truist Stadium. Oh, let me also tell you that the track has been resurfaced. Man, it looks good. It looks good, man. That place is looking good over there. So Saturday, February 27th, we host the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Buddy Pugh is chomping at the bit to get back at us because he thinks they should have won the game last year. So he's going to be in for a rude awakening come Saturday, February 27th. I don't know the time, but I expect it'll probably be in the afternoon. Won't be a night game because it's probably going to be cold. And so let's get ready for that on the 27th and to host the Bulldogs and see what we can do. Let me also say that Hero Sports, I think it was Hero Sports. They put out a prognostication a few days ago. And what they did was they said the top 10 teams to win the FCS National Football National Championship. So I don't know if you know, in the spring, and matter of fact, going forward from now on, as long as we're in the Big South or whatever, we are now going to be eligible to go to the FCS playoffs. So in the spring, if we win the MEAC championship game, go to the MEAC championship game and win it, then we will go to the FCS playoffs. So that's why we're included in this 10-team thing. So as it turns out, Hero Sports put us at number 10 in the top 10 for being able to win the FCS national championships. Here's what I'm gonna say. They pointed out a few things around our team and things we have and kids we have coming back, but they didn't come close. They didn't come close to identifying and talking about the talent that we have on this team from last year. I put a challenge out on Facebook in the SWAC group, MEAC SWAC group, the MEAC group. On February 13th, I'm going to post some information around what we have and what this team is going to be about. And I've challenged other schools to beat it. And that includes the one down there in Jackson, Mississippi. You know, they're getting some players, but they're not where we are at this point. So you'll see that on Facebook. And I might talk a little bit about it on that report that weekend. So football is around the corner. I think they might start practicing next week. They got to start practicing sometime soon here because we're almost a few weeks away from being a month away from the start of the season. So, man, I'm looking forward to it. All right. I think that's all I have for today. Yeah. All right. Aggie Pride.